Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
We aren't sure where the Lord of Pennies is. Hopefully, he'll be joining us later, but he's MIA at the moment. I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and we are here. I was going to say to entertain, but I already know some of the news, so we're here to inform you for a couple of hours.
We are infotainment.
Oh man, it's a ugly one out there today. How you doing, Scribe?
In relative terms, I'm good. Had a fairly day and calm rest of the day otherwise until the TED Excellence. We'll talk about that later. And but yeah, that's about the long and the short. How about you?
I actually had a pretty decent day. I was playing video games. I had an ambitious plan that fell through. And then I went to bed and I woke up. Let's see. I fell asleep pretty much as soon as I left my game stream earlier, which I think was around 11:30. And I woke up at 8. So yeah, I got some decent sleep. And I only woke up one time in there, which for me is very rare. So yeah, I slept good, and then I woke up and I started seeing the news. Satsu, my friend, how are you?
What up, Del? Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Your Lord of Pennies has joined us, and Satsu, how you been doing today?
Pretty good. It's been kind of a hectic day, and as you can see.
Before the stream, I had a donation. Can I still see that on here? Shoehorn Aplenty, thank you so much. Shots fired in Louisville against police. They are switching to live fire. Oof. And over on the Streamlabs, this is Kyle who says, hello, chat people and LotN. Hello, sir. Hope you're well. So, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit the like button, guys, and share our stuff because YouTube doesn't YouTube. Even half-assedly. They're not even half-assed good at it.
Nope, they're just bad overall.
And they're getting worse. But yeah, please share our stuff with everybody you know. Scribbles.
Yeah.
Do we have news tonight?
Yes.
Do we want to tell the people about it?
Sure show, dude. What do you want to do?
I want to go back to bed and pretend the last hour I've been awake didn't happen. But what's in the news, my friend? Oh, real quick, Dark Resurrect. Thank you, Lord. Howdy, Lords of the Night and chat hooligans. Monk, my AC got fixed this morning, so yay me. Cool, glad to hear it, bud.
Okay, well, I guess we should talk about the most important story. Now, see, in other circumstances, I'd say something like Dr. Pepper is on the rise or something. But no, I don't have that.
Right.
I try to offset the yuck. But okay, let's talk about Brianna Taylor. Follow grand jury decision not to charge Louisville officers with killing Brianna Taylor. Protesters took to the streets of Louisville, Kentucky on Wednesday ahead of a county-wide curfew. You got a super chat.
Thank you, Snubbirth. For your information, if you put a custom fake location on Twitter, they will suspend your account now.
Oh.
I don't keep my location on, so.
My location is above the sea fog because that's a reference to the painting. My thing is to, okay, well, I'm not going to touch it. If they suspend me for having that, which it's been there for 4 years, I guess I'll change it to something else. That's bizarre, but okay. Let's see. On Wednesday, ahead of a county-wide curfew after a former police officer was indicted only on first-degree wanton endangerment charges for his actions on the night Brianna Taylor was killed by police. 2 other officers who also fired shots during the botched March raid were not indicted, meaning no officer was charged with killing the 26-year-old Black emergency room technician and aspiring nurse. And I looked this up. They might mention here otherwise, but wanton endangerment in Kentucky law is a Class D felony with a maximum of 5 years in prison, 1 to 5. The officer that did get charged got charged with 3 counts of that. So if he is convicted on all three, depending on whether they run any sentences consecutively or concurrently, at maximum he would get 15 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. The long-awaited grand jury decisions came more than 6 months after Taylor was shot to death after Louisville police officers broke down the door to her apartment while executing a late-night warrant in a narcotics investigation on March 13th. The charges against the former detective, Brent Hankinson, were immediately criticized as insufficient by demonstrators and activists. The counts pertain to Hankinson allegedly firing blindly through a door and window, with bullets entering an adjacent apartment where a pregnant woman, a man, and a child were home, according to the state attorney general. Yeah, so each of those counts against him deals with separate victims of his recklessness. So one was Brianna Taylor, one was the guy, and the other one was the pregnant lady. Sergeant John Mattingly and Detective Miles Cosgrove, the two other officers, will face no charges following months of demonstrations and unrest over the killing. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron on Wednesday said the officers were, quote, justified in their use of force, unquote, because Taylor's boyfriend fired at officers first. An FBI ballistics analysis showed Cosgrove fired the shot that killed Taylor. Activists had demanded more serious felony counts and the arrests of the three officers who fired shots the night Taylor was killed. After the decision was announced, members of the Kentucky National Guard and state police were activated as protesters took to the streets, and some clashes erupted with officers in riot gear. And as of a half an hour ago, there was a shooting of a police officer in the middle of the street, recorded live, effectively. And the curfew there just ended about 7 or 8 minutes ago.
Yep.
And so more likely than not, things are just getting started in Louisville tonight. So I will keep an eye on the news otherwise. But yeah, so no charges for two of the officers, and the charges against the one officer result in terms of what happened, relatively a slap on the wrist. Now, whether or not you feel that is justified given the circumstances, it's kind of irrelevant. The grand jury found after all the investigations that was as much as they could bring against the guy, or that they chose to.
With what we knew about the case, I am okay with those charges. I do not like what happened in this case. There's still argument over whether this was a no-knock warrant or not. That's been taken off the table. So let's just say it was a properly executed warrant in the middle of the fucking night on a woman who the evidence was spotty at best. Their evidence is that the guy went to her house one time and came out with a package, and he used to date her. And it was really shitty evidence. And they go in and this happens. So if they wanted to sue the city over negligence, I could see that, and I wouldn't have a problem with them necessarily winning that. But charging the cops with anything other than doing their job when we know shots were fired at them, I mean, they didn't do anything against procedure that we know of. Well, as long as they were following police procedure, sorry, that's not. Now, the guy shooting through a door, that's absolutely not police procedure.
Yeah. No, there's two conflicting pieces of information. And admittedly, I have not followed this case detail to detail, but just in the summaries that I've heard today. On the one hand, I hear that they were serving a no-knock warrant, right? On the other hand, there's some testimony from neighbors that at least one officer called out at least once announcing that they were the police.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how no-knock warrants work, but I'm assuming that means that you don't announce your presence before you enter the home or breach entry or whatever. So I'm not quite sure whether they were serving a no-knock warrant or a regular warrant, and they announced themselves and then were shot at, or what. And since there were no body cams on or suited up at the time, we don't have anybody but he said, she said on it. So,
Doug Resurrect, thank you. This case is just a cluster on every end. No winners and all losers, trouble all around. Well, the thing is, the guy they were going after, he's going to get to live out his life happily in jail. I mean, he didn't get hurt in this. He got arrested, but he'll be fine. She's dead, and there's now an officer shot who had nothing to do with it. But hey, at least the drug dealer gets to live a nice, long, happy life. That's the part that upsets me about this. Her death, this is a tragedy is what happened here. They broke into a house, knock or not, whatever, I don't care. It's the middle of the night. People are usually sleeping then. There's a reason they do it at this hour. And if they were sleeping as claimed and he woke up and heard people breaking into his house and never heard that they were the police, it's reasonable for me to think he'd shoot at them. And then they shoot back. And then it's a tragedy. Mm-hmm. The evidence against her was ridiculously thin. And there's a dead woman and now a shot cop. So good job, everyone.
Yeah, right now they're saying, so local news is saying officers, plural, wounded in downtown shooting. Now that's obviously things are evolving as time goes on. So I'll keep an eye on things. I'm looking at a live helicopter shot of, I'm having a hard time telling if that's police lights down there. I guess it is. Okay, for a second I thought it was like they're filming a fire. They might be filming a fire. Actually, with all that smoke, it's hard to tell right now what's going on. I'm seeing an overhead shot of what could be a fire scene or something. But anyway, as things develop, I will cut in with what little I see going on. Oh yeah, no, that is a building on fire. I don't know what kind of building that is, but something's burning in Louisville right now.
I don't even want to look at like any conversation that's going on with this already, because I'm already seeing whispers of people talking about, oh, so now the cops are going to shoot. They're out there shooting themselves to try to start a riot. I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's it.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because there's a story out of Louisiana that I set aside for tonight. A Louisiana officer who claimed someone shot him actually shot himself, police say.
Here we go.
A Louisiana police officer who claimed he was shot while on duty had instead shot himself in the leg, Deputy Chief Darrell B. Bosco of the Pineville Police Department Administrative Bureau told CNN.
Dude, how fucking perfect is that?
Sorry?
How fucking perfect is that?
I know, right? John Michael Gallart, I don't know how to say that, Jr., 25, was arrested Tuesday and charged with one count of criminal mischief and one count of malfeasance in office after falsely claiming he'd been shot. Quote, the investigation led to a determination that the officer shot himself, concealed and altered the facts, according to a statement from Bosco. Around 11:50 p.m. Sunday night, Gallart, who was on duty, reported that he had been shot, according to Bosco. He was transported to a local hospital where he was treated and released. 2 rounds were fired. One hit Gallart in the leg and the other hit the door of his vehicle. Quote, everything shows it was an accidental discharge, Bosco said. Oh. However, he added that accidental discharge incidents require review by the chief of police and raised the possibility of disciplinary action. Okay, so he shot himself accidentally and then tried to say somebody shot him to cover up the fact that he's an idiot. Okay, that's great. Gallart was booked at the Rapides Parish, I'm probably mispronouncing that, detention center, according to jail records. Charges are being brought against him. Let me try that again. Bosco told CNN that the charges Gallart faces are brought when an individual allegedly files a false police report. He posted a $10,500 bond less than an hour after he was booked and remains on administrative leave, probably to be fired eventually, but yeah.
Good job, dummy. You'd have just gotten a little bit of trouble, and now you're a cop. You should have known they'd figure this shit out.
Yeah, I mean, at worst, you get like maybe, I mean, depending on the circumstances, maybe you get a citation on your record or something. Or not a citation, a demerit or whatever the hell they do, some kind of mark. You'd still probably have your job. You'd have to go for retraining and stuff, but yeah, now you're done.
They thought I was just stupid before. I'm actually a complete idiot.
Accidental discharge like that, he very may well have gotten fired, but at least he wouldn't have criminal charges for it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you answer that question at your next job interview? Why'd you leave your last position?
I accidentally shot myself and then lied.
Funny story.
I mean, most accidental discharges just end up in a kid.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. In other news, wavering back and forth from law enforcement to elsewise, Senate resolution to honor Ruth Bader Ginsburg blocked after partisan fighting over language. Yeah, the language would almost like legally endorse her death declaration as some kind of rule they had to follow. That was the problem.
Oh, I'll hold my thing until after you speak, because I got stuff to say on this one.
The U.S. Senate failed to agree on language for a resolution honoring the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a sign of how divided the chamber is over the Supreme Court vacancy. That's a sign? You mean the last 5 days or so haven't been a sign? Okay. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tried to pass a resolution by unanimous consent Tuesday. Did you see the video of him making his little public statement today or yesterday?
I did not.
Oh, he's making some kind of statement, and he says, we are working hard every day to do this, that, and the other. And somebody in the audience goes, "You ain't doing shit."
Oh, yes, I did see that. And the other guy, Jesus saves.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. All right, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tried to pass a resolution by unanimous consent Tuesday to commemorate the liberal icon's life and legacy, but with language that Ginsburg's seat not be filled until the next president is sworn in. Yeah, let's put a poison pill in there to rile up some controversy. Quote, Republicans came to us with this resolution, but it ignored Justice Ginsburg's dying wish, what she called her most, quote, fervent wish, that she not be replaced until a new president is installed, Schumer said on the Senate floor. So we simply have added it to the exact same text of the resolution the Republicans gave us.
Why?
Yeah.
But okay. All right.
We did this. We did this to cause controversy. We did this to provoke a conflict. Quote, all the kind words and the lamentations about Justice Ginsburg from the Republican majority will be totally empty if those Republicans ignore her dying wish and instead move to replace her with someone who will tear down everything she built, he added.
Yeah.
Wow. I hate to tell you this, Chuck. Ruth Bader Ginsburg may be many things, but she's not an infallible saint. And justices are replaced on occasion. And that's what judicial review is for.
And she gets no say in how she's replaced.
Yeah.
Every fucking story. This is what I woke up to, Scribbles, reading this fucking thing. And everything I saw, everything was Ted Cruz blocks the Senate resolution to honor RBG. And you actually have to go in there and read like,
yes.
Oh, the Democrats changed it, and then he's like, no, we're not adding that shit. No.
Yeah.
But Cruz was the one who was politicizing it. Like, are you for fucking real? I mean, Schumer all but said we're politicizing this right now.
Yep.
Real quick, Shrouded Angel, thank you. So in another 4 years, if Trump wins?
As far as replacing the justice, yeah. Because a new president, I mean, he would not be a new president, et cetera. And they'll let, so. Let's see. In remarks explaining his decision, Cruz accused Schumer of turning the bipartisan resolution into a partisan resolution, which he very much did. Quote, specifically, the Democratic leader wants to add a statement that Justice Ginsburg's position should not be filled until a new president is installed, purportedly based on a comment Justice Ginsburg made to family members shortly before she passed, unquote. Days before her death, Ginsburg dictated to her granddaughter that her, quote, most fervent wish is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed. Which, again, I have a hard time believing that unless she was just completely out of her mind, which is possible given her condition, that a practiced, otherwise, I mean, if you listen to some of the things Ginsburg said in the past, she's been fairly even-keeled on a lot of things. Things that you might assume otherwise since she was, quote unquote, a liberal justice. But she's been pretty even keel when it comes to the law and the president's position in it and so on. For her to have said that, which makes absolutely no difference under law, which shouldn't mean anything, and knowing, as she had to have known, the weight that would be given to anything she had to say before she passed on, I have a hard time thinking that she actually said that.
Well, a couple of things. One, hi, Gutenberg. How you doing, my friend?
What? Gutenberg?
Yeah, he's in the chat there.
Gutenberg? Totally Hitler's here?
There's a woman dying of pancreatic cancer. There's a good chance she was high out of her fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
Two, she might have said this to her granddaughters, like, I just hope they don't do this. Not meaning, hey, go tell the world I said this.
Yeah.
But just a private moment with her. Because we do know Ruth hung on much longer than anyone should have been expected to, hoping to outlive Trump.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is that aspect of it, but it doesn't matter if she said it or not.
Yeah.
It's meaningless.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. And the fact that the Democrats keep trying to make it into some kind of quasi law or something is just so bizarre.
We have to respect her wishes. What if her dying wish was that Chuck Schumer dropped out of the Senate?
Huh.
Yeah. What if her dying wish was that Trump serves 4 more years?
Or that we remove presidential term limits?
Yeah.
All right.
You wouldn't see them. Oh, yeah, we got to honor Ruth. They'd be like,
as my last act before I die, repeal Roe v. Wade.
Right. They'd be like, oh, no, Grandma ain't say that. What'd she say? Please hold on. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what she said, even if it's true. And there are reasons it could be. But I'm with you, Scribe. If she was of sound mind and body, I don't believe she'd ever have said that.
Yeah.
Certainly not in a way that she thought would be repeated. But I doubt she was of sound mind. Dying of pancreatic cancer is painful as fuck.
Yeah.
She was on the legal maximum of morphine. I guarantee it.
Yeah. But regardless, whether she was high, whether she was completely sober, it's moot. The point is moot. And the Democrats are the ones to blame for this manufactured controversy. There was nothing controversial about passing a resolution that's basically just sort of a sentimentality act of honoring her and her life. And then they had to insert the poison pill for the sake of cheap controversy so that they could turn around and say, look at these evil Republicans not willing to honor her. Like, oh, when it was them who introduced the original language.
Yeah,
like I said,
they brought it to you and you fucking slapped it down. You added some shit or whatever so they could, It's the same thing with the fucking stimulus, man. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Every goddamn article I saw, Ted Cruz kills it. Go fuck yourselves.
And one more that was when I started reading and I was like, you guys are being baited so bad and you turn it into something that's like the end of the fucking world. Trump refuses to commit to a peaceful transition of power after Election Day.
All right, now this is what made me laugh as I was reading the news earlier.
So stupid. President Donald Trump on Wednesday would not commit to providing a peaceful transition of power after Election Day, lending further fuel to concerns he may not relinquish his office should he lose in November. Quote, well, we're going to have to see what happens, Trump said when asked whether he'd commit to a peaceful transition, one of the cornerstones of American democracy. Yeah, you know what's going to happen, guys, if Trump loses? What he's going to do, he's going to call up the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the military and say, surround the White House, don't let anybody in. And they're going to go, you got it, Chief. And they're all going to come out and they're going to have a 24-hour wall around the White House so he can continue to run the government even though he's lost the election forever.
Yep.
And anybody who comes close will be shot on sight. There will not be a peaceful transition of power. There's going to be a coup, an armed coup, guys. That's what's going to happen, you see. Because when Trump says that, when he says, well, we're going to have to see what happens, that means... Yeah, anyway, I could go on, but why bother?
Real quick, in chat right there, all you need, you're smarter than all of the Democrats. He goes, he's goading them. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah. That whole little thing that you just said there, I guarantee we can clip that and use it. Some of the Democrats are going to be using that for material later on tonight. They're just like, oh God, please let that happen.
Oh yeah, I mean there's some of them like, oh yeah. Like, oh, please, don't relinquish the seat. Oh,
dude, they're gonna lose it, man. It's gonna be a celebration. If what you says happens, they are going to throw a fucking party, dude.
Oh, listen to this. Okay, who's writing this first? This is 2 authors to write this: Kevin Liptak and Megan Vasquez. Okay, so CNN, right? Reporters, right? Okay.
Allegedly.
Trump has previously refused to say whether he would accept the election results, echoing his sentiments from 2016. And he has joked, .. he says, dash, dash, about staying in office well past the constitutionally bound 2 terms.
Yep.
Let's say he wasn't joking. Okay, Kevin and Megan over at CNN, let's say he wasn't joking. I guess he just gets to stay, huh?
That's how it works.
I guess that just happens. If he loses the election and he wasn't joking there, then I guess he's there for, well, he's president for life, huh?
Every other living president's just like, shit, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah. It reminds me that there was a joke Dave Chappelle told a long time ago where he's in the car in the passenger seat and he's with a white friend of his and he's speeding down the freeway like a million miles an hour. And then he gets pulled over by a cop. And, you know, Dave Chappelle's like freaking out. It's like, dude. And his friend is totally high, like totally high. And the officer comes up and says, you know, you're speeding back there? He's like, oh, I was? I didn't know I couldn't do that. And the officer says, all right, then, well, drive safe. And Dave Chappelle says, I was amazed. I didn't know I couldn't do that. I didn't know that would work. And my friend's like, yeah, dude, that's the way it is. Like, it's just, I didn't know I couldn't do that.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
They really want it really bad. And I feel kind of bad for them because I don't think they're going to get it. But I wonder what they're gonna, because the closer we get, the more hysteria they're gonna try to rile up, and eventually it's gonna hit a boiling point where people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's gonna do it, guys! He's gonna fucking do it!" And then when he loses, he's like, "All right, guys, I'm out."
Yeah,
yep.
That is exactly what I hope he does if he loses. Yeah. Is that it just is like the first thing he comes out the night of and says, "I want to congratulate Joe Biden and I wish him the best. I'll do everything I can to help with the transition. I promise." I want to end everything with "I promise" and look right at the camera and just see what people do for the next 4 months. They're like, what did he mean he promises?
If he did that, let's say he loses, he concedes, and there's nothing even creepy about it like that. Mm-hmm. He just, I lost, well played race, and God bless our country.
Yeah.
They're going to be, we kept him in check, you guys.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, let me credit. Yeah.
Kept saying he would do it so much that he got scared and did.
That's right. We scared him off from a total coup.
Exactly what it'll be.
What dictator he was.
Yeah. And then on Inauguration Day, Joe Biden gets up there with the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice holds out the Bible, and Biden like takes the Bible and starts looking at it. Starts reading it like, no, Mr. President, you're supposed to put, oh. And then Trump's just sitting back there just like laughing his ass off.
Puts his hand on the Bible and starts going, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
All right. Anyway, that's all the stories I had. I'm keeping an eye on the Louisville news to see if anything else is going on. But right now they're I guess they're at a commercial break or something. Oh, wait, let's see. Live updates. Confirmation, officer wounded in shooting downtown. FBI, Louisville confirms SWAT team is responding to incident. Sources reporting 2 officers were wounded. That is the latest as of a half an hour ago, so I'll keep an eye on that.
I hope they're well. Before we get on to MSS News, I want to bring this up. MASH brought this to our attention earlier. I don't know if you guys saw it. Lauren Chen, who... Yes. She's a sweetheart. She's an absolute sweetheart. No matter what you think of her politics, she really is. She's one of the few people who got really, really big and didn't unfollow me. All of the others that we've had on the show that are big, they're like, yeah, I can't associate with that shithead. And that alone endears her to me. But her dad has liver cancer.
Yeah.
And she put out a video today. She's very scared because she's in Canada. And she's worried that their healthcare system's not going to get to him in time to get anything done about it. And she's wondering if she should come to the States. Yes, you should come to the States for that. But she's asking for anybody with medical knowledge, like actual medical personnel, to reach out to her. If you have any kind of information that could help her, it's Lauren Chen on the Twitter sphere. maybe reach out if you're a doctor, a nurse, somebody who has some kind of information that might help her make a decision on that. Tall person, thank you. Happy National Checkers Day, everybody. I used to love checkers, but I haven't played in a long, long time. No, the pizza dog.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so let's move on over to our MSS news. I thought I brought it up, damn it. I was trying to be so proactive as I was saying that other part, and I screwed up somewhere.
You're terrible, aren't you?
Angry, thank you. CNN is so full of it, I can smell it from Illinois.
Sure.
Yeah. My dad had a massive stroke 4 days ago. Ooh. So far, he's a year ahead in his recovery. Just wanted to spread the good news far and wide. Dude, Corwin, that is awesome to hear. Sorry to hear about your dad, but his recovery, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I hope it continues to go that well.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah. With strokes, man, it is so crucial to get it quickly.
Yeah.
10 minutes can make all the difference.
Yeah, Sinatra's never really recovered.
Well, I think Sinatra's like that beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
His racism is worse than ever now.
Oh, my God.
All right, and here we go. Oh, no. Mercy of Wits. It's almost like this was because somebody was in our chat. New York town of Swastika votes to keep its name.
All right.
A small town in upstate New York voted to keep the name Swastika, saying that the town founders name it after the Sanskrit word and not the hate symbol associated with Nazis.
Yep.
The town of Blackbrook Town Board.
Wow.
Okay. Which has domain over the hamlet, voted unanimously to not change the name. John Douglas, supervisor of the town of Blackbrook, told CNN. Swastika was named by the town's original settlers in 1800s and is based off Sanskrit word meaning well-being, according to Douglas. You don't have to take it according to him. You can go look it up. Didn't CNN used to have journalists?
No, they're journalists. They're just not investigators.
They could have said according to Douglas and confirmed by CNN.
They could, but why do that much work?
We regret that individuals out of the area that lack the knowledge and history of our community become offended when they see the name. To those members of our community that the board represents, it is a name that their ancestors chose. The vote follows a national reckoning with what the symbol means in modern America. In 2019, a neighborhood in Colorado town outside Denver voted to change its name from Swastika Acres to Old Cherry Hills.
Wow. Swastika Acres. Wow.
It sounds like an amusement park for Germans. So there you go.
A retirement home for Germans.
The term swastika is derived from the Sanskrit word svastika, which means good fortune, according to the United States Memorial Holocaust Museum. The symbol first appeared about 7,000 years ago and is considered a sacred symbol in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and other belief systems. It sometimes adorns the walls of their houses or temples. That is true.
Yep.
They're still all over the place. Just because the Germans shit all over it doesn't mean it was a bad thing.
And isn't and I don't know if this is an old wives' tale thing, but isn't it like the direction the arms are going for the Nazis is opposite to the actual symbol? And that's part of the...
I know there's something with how you position it that makes it Nazi or not.
Yeah.
Makes it.
And I know it for most people it's irrelevant, but I thought that was what was the differential.
Dark Resurrect, thank you. Of course, the white man turned a POC saying into hate. Just facts, people. I mean, CNN told me so. Look, Hitler's an excellent example of, you don't have to, just because he did some things doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything, because he breathed, guys. Breathing is good. But I am glad that he forever got rid of that douchey little mustache they used to wear. Because nobody should have ever done that. All right. Next up, from All You Need, Billionaire reaches his goal of giving away his entire fortune after 38 years of secret donations.
Ooh.
In 1982, a wealthy businessman quietly set up a philanthropic foundation. His goal was to secretly give away his entire fortune. Now, 38 years later, he has achieved his goal at the age of 89. Spoiler alert, he's going to live to be 115.
Oh,
Chuck Feeney made his money in the duty-free shopping business, building a nest egg of $8 billion over the course of his life.
Whoa!
nest egg.
That's a big-ass nest egg.
Like the fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex egg.
The Irish American is known for his frugality and humility. Despite his riches, he does not own a car. He rents a small apartment. He flies economy class, and he owns only one pair of shoes.
See, that's my kind of billionaire right there.
Yeah. Look, he could have 2 pairs of shoes.
I guess.
You know, some tennis shoes and some dress shoes.
Sure.
The co-founder of the Duty Free Shoppers Group managed to keep his charitable activities hidden from the public for 15 years until his identity was revealed to the public in 1997 when he sold his shares in the company. He continued to keep a low profile until 2005 when the opportunity came along to do some good with the publicity. The New Jersey-born businessman decided to cooperate in journalist, Connor O'Clearly's writing of his biography with an eye toward promoting giving while living to other wealthy people. In 2007, former Irish Towie search? I don't know what that means. Towie Seach. There's no R in there. Prime Minister Bertie somebody launched the book at Trinity College, Dublin. This week, Feeney's foundation, the Atlantic Philanthropies, ran out of money. The elder... Okay, I get it. But there's ways to make an organization like that where it keeps getting money and giving out, and it still has a nest egg so you can give out for even longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be preferable to be like, sorry, all the money's gone?
Hey, put in like a trust or an annuity or something and like keep continually donate the interest or whatever.
Yeah. It stays alive based on the principle. And anyway, It was $8 billion. There's going to be a lot of interest. The elderly businessman told The Guardian that he was very happy with completing this on my watch. He urged other super rich folks not to wait until after they'd passed to experience the joy of giving away their fortune. In explaining what motivated his generosity, the duty-free shopping mogul said, "Wealth brings responsibility." He misread Spider-Man. People must define themselves or feel a responsibility to use some of their assets to improve the lives of their fellow humans, or else create intricable problems for future generations. Intractable.
Yeah.
Use real words, man. Buy a vowel, fucker. Again, good for him. I mean, he gave away all his money. It's his right. It's his money. But you could have done a lot more good if you'd held on to it. You don't even have to hold on to it. Put it in a trust. There's a lot of foundations like that. You could be sending kids to college free of charge for the next decade, century. But now there's nothing, dickhead.
He kept it secret because none of that money went to black people. Right.
He's like, give that money to everybody but the Asians. Let's see. We have 2 here from Massive. I'm just seeing which one I want to do. Yeah, we'll do this one. It's from Massive Dynamic. Twitter's new rules will flag it if Trump claims early victory.
Oh, boy.
For real? For real?
Sure, why not?
Twitter said Thursday it will label or remove posts that prematurely declare victory in the upcoming U.S. presidential election. Over on the Streamlabs. Hang on, let me get this real fast. Sanguine, thank you. Scribe is right. The Nazi one is at a 45-degree angle and counterclockwise, while the preponderance of non-Nazi ones are either straight or had a clockwise spin.
All right.
I'm sorry, what were we saying, Satsu?
Did they do that for Hillary when they kept declaring her victory early?
Oh. This is a new policy.
Oh, okay.
Making it the latest social media company to set out a plan for a prolonged vote count and a president who appears primed to dispute the results if he does not win.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So far, every time Trump has said that he's going to dispute anything, it's if there's evidence of fraud. Andrew, thank you so much for the thumbs up top. Yeah. Okay. The social network rules currently prohibit a narrow set of election-related tweets, including posts that stoke confusion about how to vote and other forms of voter suppression. And the platform in recent months has flagged some of the tweets by President Donald Trump and his allies that contain misleading information about mail-in voting. But under its new guidelines set to take effect next Thursday, Twitter will slap warning labels or take down posts claiming victory before election results have been certified, or seek to prevent before they've been certified. The election results don't. I wonder if they mean officially certified or
maybe.
All right. Anyway. Or seeking to prevent a peaceful transfer of power, the company said in a blog post. What? They're going to take down posts seeking to prevent a peaceful transfer of power.
What?
So if that's a part of the new policy, then every single tweet that exists on there that of Hillary claiming that she either was supposed to win or had won, or anybody posting that sentiment, it must be removed, right? Because
you guys asking certified by who? It depends if they're going by the election results as reported, or if they actually mean certified, which is done by the attorneys general.
I thought it was the board of electors. I don't know.
No, the attorney general of each state has to certify and send it in.
Yeah, I think that's right. Well, given how there will probably be a delay because of all the mail-in ballots, I guess that's not unreasonable, I suppose. And it doesn't necessarily happen on election night, for sure.
Yeah, but what if somebody claims, okay, pick somewhere really Republican. I don't even know what are red and blue states anymore. Well, let's do a blue state. Let's say California. They come out and they say Biden has won California. He probably did. He's probably won California already.
Yeah.
Mail-in voting isn't going to change that. Mm-hmm. But until it's certified, you're not allowed to say so?
Well, I would imagine that they'll be able to say that as long as it's Biden or Democrats. They said they're going to be blocking Trump if he says it. So I'm sure it'll be selective. They'll say it's going to be even, but I'm certain there's only a team looking for Trump stuff.
I mean, the news outlets are still going to say CNN projects that or whatever, ahead of actually true certification. So that's probably still going to happen.
Doug Resurrect, thank you. Tweets with malicious intent. This doesn't have their full wording, so I'll have to look it up. But with just the wording they have here, you're not going to be able to say anybody won anything on election night, no matter how clear it is. That'll be a bad thing. The next one comes from senior staff reporter, chief Florida correspondent. Say it with me, Colleen Bernier. You guys didn't say it with me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know it was supposed to be a group effort.
Well, I said say it with me.
That's what he said.
You didn't say it either.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't going to, but
I'm hurt now. Michelob Ultra offers $50,000 to explore national parks and drink beer.
Oh, wow.
I'm down.
Beer brand Michelob Ultra said it is seeking a chief exploration officer to get paid $50,000 to explore U.S. national parks while drinking beer. All I'm thinking of is people who get attacked because they're drunk out in the fucking woods and they decide to go pet a bear. The company said the chief exploration officer, or CEO, will spend 6 months traveling through national parks in a camper van equipped with a bathroom, shower, and a fridge filled with Michelob Ultra Pure Gold Organic Light Lager.
Oh, boy.
What about food?
You fend for yourself on that one.
Yeah, you got to figure it out on your own, homie.
The company said the camper van and gas money will be provided for the CEO, as well as a salary of $50,000 plus expenses. We know some people prefer to enjoy the outdoors alone, but if it helps improve the trip, our CEO is more than welcome to bring along a friend, spouse, partner, or even dog. Posting said the company is seeking someone with a love of the outdoors and a strong sense of direction. The main thing we're looking for are a deep appreciation for nature, the willingness to hike to the perfect photo op, and the ability to capture engaging content for social media. Oh, and a love of beer, of course, it said. The parks to be visited include Yosemite, Sequoia, Joshua Tree, Big Bend, and Segurio. I don't know that last one. But anyway, applications are being accepted through September 30th. So, guys, if you want to get drunk in public, here's your chance.
Are they going to pay for any tickets you get while drunk driving?
It said expenses. So there must be an asterisk in there if not. The beer is food, Monkey? No. Oh, God. All right, we got two, guys. It is Frosted's turn, and it's either patriotic education is how white supremacy survives, which I feel like we've done.
No, we read the title yesterday. That was one that I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This one is this how America dies? Or Dear Care and Feeding, we're raising our daughter gender neutral.
Okay.
What?
Pincalo, thank you. Michelob, I mean, at least he'll stay hydrated. All right. I think we're going to go with the Dear Care because that looks like one of the advice column ones.
Mm-hmm.
We're raising our daughter gender neutral, but she only wants pink dresses. Where did we mess up?
Are you shitting me?
Well, okay. I'm going to go ahead and point out the glaring flaw with this situation in the first place. The narrative that colors are gender exclusive is problematic. The whole reason that we brought up this idea of gender neutrality is to get rid of those lines. And it's if you want this specific thing, if you want that thing, it doesn't matter. You can like whatever you want. You are actively doing the stupid shit you're doing incorrectly, and that's bad. I have to teach people how to do the dumb shit that they're doing because the dumb shit that they're doing, they're not even doing it correctly. The fact that she likes pink is supposed to be irrelevant to you because pink is not an exclusive color to one gender. Saying that it is literally conforming to the norms that you are trying to actively avoid.
Oh my God.
Idiots.
Satsu's brilliant.
Sean Uli, thank you. The person who certifies election results in each state is their respective secretary of state, not the attorney general. Fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you for the correction there. Yeah, I know that there's some state official that does it. So until the secretary of state does it, then Twitter can't allow anybody to talk about who won the election.
Right.
Dear Karen Feeding, my husband and I have a frequent disagreement on our 3-year-old daughter and her love for dresses and all things pink. For the first 2 years of her life, she was constantly mistaken for a boy because she wore gender-neutral clothing. She was mistaken for a boy because of gender-neutral clothing.
You see the problem? You see the error that they're making? They put boys' clothes on this kid and said they were mistaken for a boy because of gender-neutral clothing, but they see the color pink and they're like, oh, that's girl. You're not even fucking being stupid right.
They're not practicing what they preach is the short answer. Yeah.
They've gone into this half-assed, and you can tell because they think boys' clothes, because they have a daughter, is gender neutral, but the color pink is exclusively female. Like, fucking idiots.
We direct her towards books and other media that do not represent traditional gender roles. No sparkle princesses, it says in parentheses.
Oh my God.
We ask friends and family to refrain from commenting on her appearance and clothing if they can help it, and to instead focus on skills or interests. However, our daughter adores the color pink, insists on wearing dresses, and is currently obsessed with accessories. I'm fine with this, though I hope it will only be a phase.
No, you're not. You're not fine with it at all. Otherwise, why are you complaining?
Yes, they don't have a gender-neutral child. They have a daughter that they want to be a boy.
Yeah.
They're not raising their child to be gender-neutral. They're raising their daughter to be a boy. That's what they're doing.
After a few battles about wearing her soul pink dress when it was dirty, buy her another one. Jesus.
God.
When it was dirty, my daughter and I did some online shopping together, and she chose a few more dresses to order.
Okay.
All of them were pink, obviously. My husband is unhappy that I encouraged her obsession by purchasing the dresses and letting her wear some of my old jewelry. Whatever happened to letting the kids decide? I thought that was what these people did.
That's what this whole thing was supposed to be about to begin with. Letting your kid be whoever it is they decide to be, regardless of what that means. And that is literally not what's happening right now. You might as well have had a gay son and you're trying to make sure that he's not by doing shit to actively make sure that he's not. Like, that's what this is. You're no different than the people you hate.
Wait for this line. Oh my God. He gets annoyed when dresses get tangled while climbing a rock or running and says that dresses and accessories aren't suitable for doing most things. For real?
Wow. Good job. Parents of the Year over here.
I appreciate his commitment to raise our daughter without gender stereotypes, but I also want to encourage her to make her own choices.
She did.
I feel like if we push back too hard on her love for dresses and jewelry, it will backfire and she will only become more obsessed. Help.
You think? Oh my God.
Let your fucking child do what they want to do. It's that easy. Do you like this? Yes. Then there you go. It's not that hard. You complicate things when you try to step in and decide for them what they should or shouldn't be doing, because it defeats the purpose of everything that you're doing. Jeez.
My daughter hated dresses. She would cry if we put them on her before she could speak. She never wore dresses until she got into high school. And then she loved them. Little butt, up until recently, would wear nothing but dresses. And it had nothing to do with how we tried dressing them or anything. It's just what they were comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
Let kids be kids. Those 2 years that she dressed gender neutral, you dressed her, dumbass. She had no say in it. She was 2 and under at that time. What'd you do? Hold up 2 different outfits to the infant and go, which one do you want?
And then they point at the dress and you're like, no, you're wearing this one.
Stupid baby.
Yeah,
You dummy.
you're too stupid to know you're not supposed to like this stuff, so I got you. Like,
This is the toddler equivalent of not liking that your son is gay.
it is. It is exactly that thing. You have a daughter that you don't want to act like a girl because you're stupid and think that gender neutral means the opposite. Fucking idiots.
And there is some psychology behind women liking pink, liking purple. They actually tend towards more red colors. It's just natural. It's just true.
And that's just sexism, monkey.
I know.
Fucking
Those people shouldn't be parents. There's my advice. Give that child to somebody who's actually going to love it.
Oh my God.
please. That'd be great.
You know, in fairness, to the mom, she sounds like she's at least trying to indulge it. Like, okay, this is what she's doing right now. Maybe she'll get over it. That husband sounds like a complete douchebag. But she won't climb rocks with me if I have that. Oh, you wanted a boy, didn't you?
Yeah, you wanted a boy.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Let's see. Oh, no.
No.
Shrouded, why do you send me things like this? Woman cleans boyfriend's grim pillows after finding out he hasn't washed them in 10 years. That is fucking gross.
What? Oh.
The woman was horrified to discover that her boyfriend had left the pillows on his bed untouched, not putting them in the wash once in the last decade. And there's pictures.
Oh no.
I'll throw this in the chat if y'all want to see them. Because it's the mirror, and I'm not bringing this up on screen because just ads pop up fucking everywhere. If you thought your significant other wasn't very good at doing housework or cleaning up after themselves, you might want to hold on to your hat. It's because one woman has just made a rather grim discovery about her boyfriend that might make you want to throw up. The woman recently found out that her partner hasn't washed his pillow in 10 years. Yep, you read that correctly. The pillow he lays his head down on for sleep each night has been untouched for an entire decade. So gross. That's what it says, not me. I agree, but that's what it says. Just buy replacements, that's fine. Even with pillowcases, guys, you need to wash your pillows. That stuff, I mean, drool, sweat. I know Sinatra claims he doesn't sweat during the night, but you sweat when you sleep. It will build up.
Yep.
Just clean that shit.
Once a month at minimum. I mean, just throw it in there with the wash.
Disgusting. Fuck.
Those things are brown. Oh my God. She washed them in the tub. Thank you, Dark Resurrect. Burn them. They're beyond hope. Yeah, she should have just got new ones. I don't know how.
Why keep them?
Guys, I don't block ads. I see people tell me I don't block ads. I just tend to stay away from sites like this where they put too many of them up. She filmed the entire cleaning process for a TikTok video in which she washes 3 yellowed and filthy pillows with astounding results. While her boyfriend was at work, the woman placed them in the bathtub and threw a couple of dishwasher tablets in. She then added some borax powder into the water before pouring a little bit of bleach and leaving pillows to soak. After a while, she proceeded to use a mop to wring out the dirt from the pillows before tossing them into the washing machine to remove all the cleaning products and remaining grime.
Oh my God.
He was not fucking around.
That's fucking nasty, man.
Just buy new pillows, for crying out loud.
Not that expensive, bro.
Are they magic pillows or something?
And finally, this one from Jack the motherfucking Cochran. GOP-led Senate report alleges conflict of interest with Hunter Biden Obama administration. 2 Republican-led Senate committees issued a politically charged report Wednesday alleging that the work Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's son did in Ukraine constituted a conflict of interest for the Obama administration at the time when Biden was engaged in Ukraine policy as vice president. But the report said it was, quote, ultimately unclear what impact Hunter Biden's position on the board of Ukraine Gas Company had on the Obama administration policy with regards to Ukraine, and it offered no evidence to support one of Donald Trump's more incendiary allegations that Joe Biden pressured Ukraine to fire its top prosecutor as a way to protect his son. Okay. I'm not shocked by any of that. Here's the thing. Doesn't matter. It would have mattered at the time if somebody would have done some investigating back when Hunter Biden got that position and went, whoa. This, maybe we need to step in here and that looks improper. Okay. We're what? 8 years removed from when that happened? They're not going to do anything about it. This isn't going to bar for prosecution or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a meaningless Senate report.
Yep.
That maybe they'll bring up during a campaign ad or something.
Right. Nobody cares.
Oh, and then we have time for more. Massachusetts sends in this one. Massachusetts man dies from eating bags of black licorice. What?
Oof.
A Massachusetts construction worker's love of black licorice wound up costing him his life. Eating a bag and a half a day for a few weeks with his nutrients out of whack and caused the 54-year-old man's heart to stop, doctors reported Wednesday. What, was he only eating that?
How does that work?
It sounds like.
Even a small amount of licorice you eat can increase your blood pressure a little bit, said Dr. Neil Butala, a cardiologist at the Massachusetts General Hospital, who described the case in the New England Journal of Medicine. The problem is, glyceric acid. I know there's a sanguine out there going, oh, he did not just say it like that. I did, man. It's the best I could do. Acid found in black licorice and many other foods and dietary supplements containing licorice root extract. It can cause dangerously low potassium and imbalances in other minerals called electrolytes. Eating as little as 2 ounces of black licorice a day for 2 weeks could cause a heart rhythm problem, especially for folks over 40, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration warns. You guys ever heard this shit?
Ooh. No, and for black licorice, that's the first time I've ever heard the black licorice could be deadly or whatever.
Dark Resurrect, thank you. Unpopular opinion, black licorice is my favorite flavor. Fight me. It's a nasty flavor that occasionally I like, but I don't eat very much when I have it because it's such a strong flavor. It's more than licorice sticks. It could be jelly beans, licorice teas, a lot of other things over the counter. Even some beers like Belgian beers have this compound in it, as do some chewing tobacco, said Dr. Robert Eckel, a University of Colorado cardiologist and former American Heart Association president. He had no role in the Massachusetts man's care. The death was clearly an extreme case. The man had switched from red fruit-flavored twist to the black licorice version of the candy a few weeks before his death last year. He collapsed having lunch at a fast food restaurant. This guy had a great diet.
No.
Licorice and fast food. Doctors found he had dangerously low potassium, which led to heart rhythm and other problems. Emergency responders did CPR, and he revived but died the next day. Damn.
That sucks.
I didn't know you could die from licorice. The fuck is that?
Red vines, guys. Red vines only.
The fucked up part about that is, like, they said he was eating like the red one, and then he switched and was just like, "Oh yeah, that's gonna kill you."
I want to know the brand. Or was it Twizzler? Was it actual like red vines and black vines or whatever?
Didn't say. It's just if it uses the licorice extract stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't everything in moderation as well. And yeah.
Well, even the raising your blood pressure, lowering your potassium. I didn't know that. And the FDA actually has warnings about that. That should be on the package.
It probably is.
Echo says you can die from water. You can, but if you can die from drinking too much water in a day. It's happened. But this is licorice.
Mm.
It's a candy. I'm known to indulge when I eat candy.
Not a fucking bag and a half a day, I'm sure.
No, that would be way too much. But God, I didn't. Raise your sugar, sure, but lower your potassium and make your heart go funny? Fuck. All right, guys, that's going to bring us to the end of MSS News. Guys, thank you for all the submissions. Sorry we can't get to them all. It's just you guys are so amazing. We got to go in order and pick the ones as they come. So thank you. It's going to move us on to YouTube time. And Satsu, what you been up to?
Oh, pretty much the only thing of note that I did today was I played some medieval Dynasty, which was fun. I started a new game with all the knowledge that I've built up over the little trial period. I made a decision when I started playing. After I found out that the years were only 12 days or whatever. I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna play for a year in game, and we'll see how that goes, and then I'll just start over from there. Because you know me, whenever I play anything new, I'll play for a while, and then I'll start over. That's how I play anything new. That's just the kind of guy that I am. So I started over, and that went well. I learned a lot of tricks and stuff along the way, so I think I started off pretty good. This game is very addictive, and I love it. Hopefully our viewers don't get too sick of it, because both me and Monkey are playing, and we both stream it. But we got our own flavor of commentary and stuff, so I'm sure people show up for one or the other for whatever reason. So
they better be watching both.
Yeah, so I had a good time playing that. Apparently I stepped on Scribe earlier. I didn't mean to. I didn't even know he was streaming. That was my bad.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, when I started streaming, a couple people popped in and was like, "Hey, how dare you stream when Scribe is streaming?" I'm like,
"Oh no, come on, that guy's." I know you're just kidding, but it's all right. We don't necessarily all keep the same schedule all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, it was for me. It was just like, soon as my wife gets home, I'm fucking streaming this game.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm aware one of you guys is already streaming, I'll probably not. But otherwise, it's like not intentional or anything. If I do.
Yeah, it was fun as hell. So that's what we've been playing, and that's pretty much it for me.
All right, and Scribbles, I'm gonna go first because you have more interesting shit to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I did a monkey in the morning and 2 rather long game streams. I was gonna try to do 12 hours, guys, but I was just too tired. I am gonna do a 12-hour live stream coming up here one day soon, just for the fun of it. It'll probably be on a Sunday though. That way, we get our game stream done. And I can go right into that. But yeah, that's all I have. Scribbles, what you been up to today?
So I did a TED Excellence, as you might imagine. And it was called The Loss of Privilege. And I was like, okay, I have no idea. That title is completely ambiguous. What little I could glean from the description, I just decided to call the thumbnail Critical Privilege Theory. And I was pretty much right on the mark with that sort of joke. It would be difficult for me to describe this, except it's a guy from Auckland in New Zealand who goes through a long dissertation describing the problems with having privilege, how we must all work to lose our privilege, and that we need to understand that those that lose privilege need attention and help because it's a shock to the system when you lose your privilege.
Hold that thought. I have a donation. Thank you, Sanguine, who's kind of a jackass, and says, since I was named by name, you did butcher it, but you can't read words that are common parlance, so why would I razz you over not knowing chemical names? That would be like giving your lispy friend hell because he fucked up saying secession. Ouch. Yeesh. Thank you, Sanguine.
So, how can I describe this? Let me just put it this way. This TED Excellence turned into the most bingos we've ever had. The more so than Agents of Change. 9 bingos.
Can I ask you, how long was this talk?
16 minutes. 16 minutes.
That's impressive.
16 minutes and like 30 seconds or something. Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. In a lot of instances, he all but said the phrase necessary to be on the bingo card. And I accept aggregate stuff. Like if he talks about seeing people through a lens of privilege, I can like go, oh, okay, unconscious bias and or microaggressions, like something
Sure.
like that. Like if it's close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades, I'm fine with circling it. And so in all the instances on the card, save for one, he hit on it. And that last one was anecdote that probably never happened. Because he only provided in the entire talk one anecdote. And it turns out it was probably true. His interpretation of it was wackadoo, but it was true. He talked about how he experienced a privilege loss, and he had this done personally, and he was like felt all the indignation and the irritation and the anger building up in him because he was restricted of his privileges. What was his privilege he was restricted of? Well, according to him, his wife is a indigenous person or has indigenous heritage. And she belonged to a tribe in northern Canada, I think it was. And at one point, he went to visit his wife's family. And during the course of his visit there, he was denied the ability to speak. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What are you talking? He never provided any context for the longest time. And I was just like, what are you talking about? And so at the time, I was like, I don't know what he means. But at one point, just offhandedly, he mentioned how not being able to speak at a tribal circle or something. I'm like, oh.
What?
Well, so no, this has.
I get it, but why would? Okay.
You know, and as has been pointed out to me by Foxy on Twitter and everything, in some tribes, if you are not a member of the tribe, even if by marriage, in a tribal circle or a council circle or something, you have no voice. You have no ability to talk because you're not part of the tribe.
Sure.
So he may have been there, but under certain circumstances, his voice and his opinion was irrelevant. He decided to say that was him being denied his privileges. And I'm like, if I'm an American citizen, I have certain privileges, yes, bestowed upon me for being an American citizen. If you're not an American citizen, you don't have those privileges. It's all about that. I mean, if he's quantifying everything as privilege is somehow evil, but then he's denied his privilege because he's in an environment where he actually does not have those privileges, then he feels like my privileges have been denied. Like, well, no, they haven't. You don't have any privileges here. But anyway, regardless, the anecdote was not unbelievable given the circumstances. So I couldn't circle that square. And it was really difficult because I was like every other square where I had to sort of like say, okay, he never said white supremacy, but he talked a lot about how this is for white people and white people are this, that, and the other. It's white supremacy. He's talking about white supremacy.
Sure.
I had no problem. I was just reflexively like, okay, this square, he didn't say the word this, but it works because he said all these other things. When I came down to that last one, I was like, he only gave us one anecdote and it's not beyond belief. And despite every part of me going like, man, this would be great if we had a blackout on this card and this is the first one with 10 bingos, I couldn't do it. I like there's a part of my brain that said, nope, I can't cross that threshold. And I talked to the chat. I was like, somebody give me an argument. I mean, it has to be a really good one, but nobody honestly could. And not complaining or anything. I'm just saying that's how it is. And the bingo card as a game for these things, it doesn't work if I'm just going to willy-nilly circle things, you know?
Sure, yeah.
So anyway, 9 bingos beat out Agents of Change, which is saying something given Agents of Change, even though Agents of Change is still insane to watch. This guy hit all the marks, and he was all over the place with this stuff. And the thing is, just like so many other people who tell me about privilege, somehow they don't disqualify themselves given their own argument. You had a guy on stage saying how he's straight white male and he's enjoyed all this entitlement all his life. And he's worked so hard to get rid of it. Oh, woe is me. And yet he's still standing on that stage saying that he's a social scientist and he's an academic and he knows what he's talking about. He's an expert. And I'm just like, okay, you are a charlatan. Okay, I don't know if you're lying to yourself, you're lying to us, or both. Either way, you obviously do not actually believe in what you're preaching because you're still on that stage telling us how we're supposed to think about privilege that you obviously possess in your version of reality, which means that undermines anything you have to say, any credentials you say you have, and so on. But anyway, it was a pinnacle of a TEDx talk. It really was. It was pseudo-academic. It talked down to you while trying to say that you were being a good person if you did the thing that admitted your own sin and so on. And it almost filled out the entire bingo card. We haven't reached that perfect TED excellence yet, but we're getting closer bit by bit. So anyway, if you guys want to see, if you hadn't watched it already, if you want to listen to an argument, a presentation that is the sort of the zenith of sophistry and guilt trip and self-indulgent sort of hubris over everybody else and everybody else's morality and value, this is one to watch. So there you go. That's what I did today. Tomorrow, I might take a day off from TED Excellence tomorrow because today was a doozy. But you never know, I might change my mind. So keep an eye on my Twitter for that. And thanks again to Kurt Metzger, who retweeted out my Toy Story Dealy Bob, or employee story, as I called it, for the slave narrative of Toy Story.
The 5-minute one.
The 5-minute one that just almost, I mean, it by itself filled up a lot of squares on the card. So yeah, that's all I've got.
All right. Yeah. Check out his TED Excellence ones if you haven't, guys. That one, I didn't get to see that one. I'll have to go back and watch.
It's something else, man. It really is.
I like the ones where you tell me you got a lot of bingos.
Oh, it was fun. I mean, I like playing that little clip. When we got to the last one, I was like, I can't do it, guys. I just can't. It was such a struggle.
All right. It's humpetry time. And Satsu, you got some humpetry today?
Oh, wow. I came back at the perfect moment. Sorry, I had to go do something real quick. Let's see here. I was actually being pretty good today, so probably not a lot, but let's go check over on Facebook and see what I got into today. Let's see here. There was a whole lot of stuff about Brianna Taylor going on, obviously, and conversations that I refuse to get into because there's not. It's really hard to talk about this one.
Okay.
Just because of like the way everything went down, and it's like based on law and the way the cops handled the situation or whatever, it all falls in line with procedure, and then the circumstances surrounding it. There's nothing you can really say to please anybody, really. Like everybody's gonna be mad no matter what. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up. I don't have nothing to say on this one. Outside of that, our the Lords of the Night, that comic shot that he put up.
Yeah.
I showed it to a couple people that I know. One of which is a manga artist, actually the person who drew my original Avatar, and he was like, "Dude, I fucking love this."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so pumped for this. I cannot wait to see this, man." So I'm really excited for that, and we're gonna be pumping it up like crazy when it finally does come out.
There's the picture he's talking about, guys.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
It's so good.
It is.
It's got all of our like even our stances like have our personalities like.
I know.
It's so fucking. Oh man, I just love it. I love it so much. Now I don't know how. Like I know he shared it out or whatever, but I'm like, maybe I shouldn't just post this all over the place. So I just, like I said, I shared it specifically with some people who I thought would find it cool. But yeah, that was something that happened today. Let me see. What else did I post? A lot of people was tagging me in all kinds of shit today. And I appreciate it, but I swear to God, I didn't watch any of this. All of it is still highlighted in gray. You know, like when you get on there and you haven't been on in a while and they tell you like, this is all the stuff you haven't seen. Like, I just haven't been on Twitter today, guys. So I'm sorry. So yeah, I don't really have fucketry today, which is super odd. It is what it is.
All right, Scribbles, what you got?
I really don't have anything. I was between work and the TED Excellence. I was just kind of being lazy today, so there's not much that we haven't already talked about that I would have to say.
Now, I don't have anything like specific ones to bring up. But I was asked about a few things, and I'm trying to find where those are. Jim Healis says, I hope Ranting Monkey read Judge Stickman's ruling on the PA lockdowns. I want to hear what he thinks about this.
Yeah, Matt Christensen did a great video on that today. I did see that.
I did not read his actual thing. It's like 33 pages long. But here's the gist of it. He had put a hold on the lockdowns, and it's waiting for further review.
Yeah.
And they challenged that, and the judge said, no, go fuck yourselves. And here's why. Because they're not implementing the rules fairly. The judge even says, look, I'm not saying you can't even make or put limitations on people. The problem is you're not doing it fairly.
Right.
For instance, it's something like indoor gatherings of no more than 20, outdoor gatherings of no more than 250. But there was a thing approved for an outdoor gathering up to 20,000. And there was indoor gatherings approved of up to like, I want to say it was 200 or something like that. So they're not doing it fairly. And that's what the judge is going for. Like, you could do this if you're fair about it, but you're not. So fuck you. It's wrong.
The other thing was the lack of definition of what equated to a life necessary service or something.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, they'd be shutting, like Matt Christensen pointed out, like, we're going to shut down the mom and pop furniture store over here, but that just drives everybody to Walmart, who's been designated as a necessary outlet. And consequently, by centralizing everybody's activity in these ways, you're actually making the problem worse by your own claims, because if you have more outlets, you'd spread out gatherings more so.
Right.
So it's giving this unfair advantage to big box retailers and things as though they're somehow special in the services they provide versus the mom and pops who are very niche or something. So yeah, it was a lot of bullshit going on.
Yeah, I didn't see Matt's video. I'll have to watch it. I watched most of Matt's stuff anyway, so I'd have seen it. But the simple ruling is, if you look at it just its face, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you be fair, and that's been the problem so far. Like where we see, protesters allowed to go out and just cause all kinds of shit in the streets, and you can have tens of thousands of them, and it's fine. But don't have a party with 10 people. And not in that, because Pennsylvania, like I said, I think it was 20 on indoor gatherings, but elsewhere, like no more than 10.
Yeah.
Caramon, thank you so much for the kitty cat.
Dog, cat, fox.
What was the other one I was asked about? The Trump administration, the Justice Department is issuing new rules for Section 230 or new guidelines and hoping that Congress will apply them. I didn't get to read. It's another one, guys. I only woke up at 8 o'clock, so I haven't been up that long. I didn't get to do a ton of reading yet. So I'll have to go through and see, but it does look like they are pushing through with the idea of, you got to be more fair with how you do it. You can't just block people for political speech. And you need to have more accountability when it comes to people actually engaging in criminal activity on your site.
Yeah.
Which I agree with both of those. The Section 230, its problem right now, guys, it's not the platform versus publisher thing. It's not. I know you're told that. It's not. I promise you that's not it. The problem with it is how vague the wording is, and that it actually allows right now for exactly what you see happening. Because they can literally block you for any reason, no matter what. The verbiage is so fucking vague. And this seems to be trying to address it. But like I said, it's kind of in depth, so it'll take me a while to actually read it all to be able to give a good perspective on whether or not I agree with what the changes that they do say they're trying to make. There's a video of Jerry Nadler going around.
Oh, I thought that was a fake one. It looks so animated, but is it real?
It's real.
Okay.
Hang on. For those of you who haven't seen it, we don't need the volume, so we'll just show the video. It's on your screen right now. This is him getting away from the podium so that Nancy can come up and talk. It's just weird. He's an old cripple man who needs to probably just go away.
Yeah, put him out on the ice floe, like the olden days.
They don't have their masks on, and they're pretty close to each other. And then, does he have a piece? Oh, that's his belt. Okay. Like, is he packing? And then he just kind of waddles off. Now, I shouldn't laugh because it's probably some horrible medical condition. But he's an idiot, and I've long said he looks like Chet from Weird Science and
Political Science. Is that the sequel? Political Science.
Political Science Chet is what that is right there.
Political Science.
That I hated that song, but it was strangely catchy.
Yeah, Oingo Boingo, yo. Oingo Boingo.
The next one I wanted to show you guys. So there was a tweet going around yesterday. It was a joke tweet. It's Labor Women's Network. NBA players wear lace collars to honor Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yeah. And that, sisters and brothers, is how you be a good ally. And it shows them standing there in Ruth Bader Ginsburg dresses. And Jess Phillips of Sargon fame said, shedding a happy tear at this, boom.
That was so funny.
She's an MP. She's part of the British government, guys.
And that MP does not stand for mentally proficient, everyone, just so you know.
No, it definitely doesn't. This is the woman that Sargon said he wouldn't even rape. she's one of their leaders, you guys, and she thought that was real. And not just it was real. Boom! It's a great thing. Boom! Boom! I wouldn't even dress her like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
That one just made me laugh. Like, you can't be serious. Lots of stuff going on in the rioting world with them starting to get a little bit violent again. The crowds don't seem to be getting any bigger yet until tonight, which I'm sure they're going to blow up. So if you are in one of these cities where this stuff has been happening, just take cover tonight. Just stay home. Duck if you hear shooting. Because, yeah, it's... All right, and that one we already talked about. So, guys, I didn't... Like I said, I wasn't up very much, and I was reading a whole lot of stuff to try to, be intelligent for the show.
Be intelligent.
Be intelligent. Believe it or not, I prepare a little bit for the show.
Not.
How dare you? No, I did. I told Lady Monkey, what was it, yesterday, day before? It was like 8:30. I'm like, baby, I got to go. I haven't looked at anything online. I got to go do work. She goes, do work? I'm like, yes, I actually have to go read articles and find stuff and have something to contribute other than dick jokes. I kind of want to go. No, Faithless. No, you don't. We need this stuff to be, I hate using this word because it kind of fucked it all over, but de-escalated. Not ramped up even more. Tonight in Louisville, I hope the police are able to just squash it. Oh. They have this curfew in effect for the next 72 hours. So what is it? After 6 p.m., everybody has to be home?
Something like that, yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to start seeing... Louisville has had some of the worst rioting. It's gotten a lot of the least attention because Portland has been so bad. Yeah. But Louisville's been almost as bad many nights. So this is not a good thing. With that, guys, we're going to go ahead and take your questions, comments, concerns, and throw them in the chat now. We'll do our best to get to it. I did want to comment about one thing that came up a little bit earlier. If for any reason I am streaming and one of these two guys decide to stream, watch whichever one of us you want to watch, and then watch the other one in replay.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't hide our streams.
They're in perpetuity, basically, until YouTube takes one of us down. So,
yeah. So go watch all of them. Yeah. Watch as much stuff as you can that you enjoy, because it helps us and YouTube doesn't. And if you're watching me and Scribe starts and you're like, I really want to go see Bingo, go watch Bingo. I mean that sincerely.
Yeah, I'm not saying you want to watch Monkey in Medieval Times or whatever. I mean, Medieval Legacy. Sorry, not a restaurant. My
you shit. I was drinking when you made that stupid joke.
My TEDx's aren't going anywhere. They've been there for years. They'll be there when you're done. So yeah, just spread the love. Either way, it's fine.
Look, I'll be honest with you. If I'm watching Medieval Dynasty game and Scribe goes live with Bingo, I'm probably going to watch Bingo. No. The thing is, game streams, they tend to be kind of samey. And they're more for me as something that I put on in the background, that just kind of listening as I do other things. If I'm in, I like politics, and a lot of what you cover, while maybe not specific Democrat versus Republican kind of thing, it's politics.
Yeah, it's social politics type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I go to where I'm most interested.
Yeah, game streams, I mean, it really depends on the game. Like, there's this streamer, Rycon Roleplays. Like, he plays his little segments of Fallout survival mode stuff like they are little dramas and everything, because it gets so tense and it's a permadeath run. So every little minute matters, and that stuff I'll just, like, eat up and just watch forever. And then he does other things like Kenshi, which are kind of like long-term sort of slow pace kind of stuff. That stuff I'll keep on the background. So it really depends on the content. But yeah, either way, guys.
Yeah.
The idea is that we're building up our libraries over time, and it'll be there for you when you're ready. And you can watch it in pieces and absorb it one at a time kind of thing. And Like I say, if I know Monkey is streaming or something and I get an itch, I'll be like, I'll wait. I'll wait until he's done, or I'll wait so I don't do this, or something like that. Or like if I see that I'm starting to stream and I see someone else not knowing I did, like Pat today, he was like, I'm going to start a stream at 2:30. I'm like, oh, I hope he gets in plenty of people before I start at the thing I've already scheduled, kind of stuff. I'll feel bad about it because we all are kind of a weird, loose community and friends and everything.
Sure.
But we don't like coordinate. We're not like a TV network where it's like from 5 to 6 we'll be doing this thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, and there's no. Anyway, I could babble on, but you know what I'm talking about. You get it.
Yeah. I never purposefully go live when I know somebody else is live.
Yeah.
I'll take that back. I did once when Scribe was live when I went to do a game stream because I'm like, they're different kinds of audiences. And you could tell it in that day because there's people who watch me just because it's me, and I had a much smaller audience because they're actually interested in the kind of content we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they stayed over there and watched. And then they migrated over to me when you were done. It's a different kind of genre. So I was like, all right, this one doesn't count.
Yeah.
Okay, but to the question, Satsu, have you seen the life-size Gundam in Japan? That thing is awesome.
Yeah, this thing is fucking crazy.
Is it just basically a statue, or does it have some kind of mobility?
Supposedly it has mobility.
There's a mechanism that's behind it that they built on it that allows it to move. I don't think it moves on its own, no.
Okay.
I want to see it try to move on its own and fall on its face.
Oh, God.
Lords of Night, which of you is the most popular?
What is that quantifiable?
Well, I mean, if by subscriber count, it's probably Monkey.
Yeah, it'd have to be Monkey because he has more subscribers than both of us.
If you're talking about high school, definitely Monkey.
That is definitely true. I was not a popular kid in high school. Not because I was an asshole or something. Just I was the nerdy outcast kind of thing.
Well, actually, I don't know if that's still true because I don't know if we've talked about it. Satsu, were you popular in high school?
By extension.
With the ladies.
Well, that was unintentional.
But, yeah. Oh, yeah. Humble brag. Okay.
I didn't do it on purpose. But
Yeah. Humble brag. Okay, it's fine.
I got to the school. My brother was very popular. And,
cool. Okay.
And everybody was like excited to meet the popular kid's brother. And as a result, to like defend myself against all the fucking crazy people who were swarming me, I became the funny guy because I'm just like I'm very antisocial. I don't really like people, so the only thing I know how to do when people are around me is to make them laugh. So it was just kind of that thing where I didn't really do anything. I was just like, people are around, say funny things.
Survival instinct.
Yeah. Mine going into high school is similar to that, but my brother died when he was in that high school. He killed himself while he was still attending. So I get there the next year and everybody's like, your brother was so cool. So I got a lot of sympathy love. It was so weird.
Yeah, that's always very awkward, especially when you're trying to.
I don't know what else to do, so I'd make jokes. And if you guys want to be popular, learn to be funny. Seriously. Monk, have you seen the game DayZ? It's a 7 days. I know what kind of game it is, and he asked if I would recommend it. I've never played it. It's not the kind of game I would play because it has the drop everything on death and you got to start again kind of thing. I can see the appeal to it, but it's just not one for me.
Yeah.
I would ask people who have played it, and there's a lot of them who have. There was a great comparison video last year, I want to say. They compared 7 Days to Die and DayZ because they came out around the same time, and they've both been perpetually in early access. But check that out. I forget who made it. Just look up 7 Days to Die versus DayZ. You'll find it. Gamer Valine, thank you. It is a hydraulic system. It's not untethered operation. If you've seen, I don't know how to say that. Evangelion. Evangelion. It is more similar to that than Gundam. There you go. I still want to see it fall in space. Lord Knight, did you hear California will ban sales of gas-powered cars in 2035? No, but I'm not shocked. The thing is, when they pass stuff like that, when it gets close, if they see it's not actually going to be possible, they can put it off again. It happens with a lot of environmental regulations you might not understand it happens with.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the YouTube age restriction censorship for your content? No. YouTube really don't have to be unless you have me on your channel.
My stuff is wholesome, I've been told. I'm a wholesome YouTuber.
Yeah, occasionally I might get hit for some of the things I say, and occasionally I deserve it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. This is just a reminder, guys, to make sure that you're following the people you like.
And also sharing the stuff that you like with other people. That's the other part of the equation.
Yeah. Satsu, you worried about age restrictions?
No, not really. I mean, all of my stuff is pretty in line with YouTube's policies for the most part. And this, like, we just stream here, so most of the bulk of the viewership comes from the stream itself. So what happens afterwards, I don't give a shit about.
Right. Yeah.
So
now with Monkey in the Morning, there's a lot of people, because my favorite time to do that is like 2 a.m. And then people wake up and they watch it for their morning show, which God bless all of you. Because I like my viewership doubles from the time it ends to when the video itself, its lifespan dies. The few that have gone, 18 plus people are, where's your video? It's there, guys. I promise. If I don't do a Monkey in the Morning, I will tell you on Twitter that I'm not doing one. So if you don't see that message, then go look at the channel. They're probably hiding me because I said something horrible. Monk in medieval times, I would watch that. Have you seen Kramer versus Kramer starring Dustin Hoffman?
Yes.
I've never watched it.
Yep, I've seen it, I think, twice in my life. But yeah, I mean, the first time I ever knew it existed, it was actually a send-up in Mad Magazine years before I actually saw the movie.
I've read that.
Yeah, so I'd seen that, so I was familiar with the movie through that ridiculous satire. And so when I finally saw the movie, I couldn't really take it seriously because every scene that I'd seen parodied in Mad Magazine, it lost all the strength of it for me. So yeah, that was funny.
all right. What was with the awkward silence? What happened?
Why did everything go quiet?
Yeah, where'd Monkey go?
I don't know.
What the hell?
You muted yourself, didn't you?
No, I didn't touch anything.
I was just like, what the hell?
Something happened.
My hands are on my chair.
Yeah,
All right.
a likely story.
What I said was that was just a divorce movie, right? About a divorce thing.
Yeah, the title refers to Dustin Hoffman. Like his wife just decides to go find herself one day and basically abandons him and his kid, and then he has to try to learn how to become a single parent suddenly without any preparation and everything. And then it's I mean, I think it got some award. I don't know if it got an Academy Award. It might have, but I remember it being a very good movie, sort of like a family drama kind of thing.
Yeah.
So its accolades are deserved, I think. But otherwise, yeah, like I say, every time I think about it, my first thought is to the Mad Magazine send up.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, who says at this point, people know what they are getting into with you lot. They should.
Yeah. If you ain't learned, oh shit.
Yeah, we're not exactly stealth or anything on this stuff.
We keep our opinions on our sleeves, guys. Just read them. Pincalo, thank you. Why is the Tiny Toon song playing in my head? I don't know.
Don't know.
Now I just keep looking at my mute button. Well, this had
sorry.
Go ahead. You first.
I was about to say they said the Tiny Toon song and Animaniac started playing in my head. I'm like, no, brain, wrong.
On my game stream today, I need to get a new Steam Deck. I hit the button that I use to mute myself. It muted me. It triggered the button right above it, which mutes the sound to the game. and the one right beside it, which changes it to my still frame that I use when I'm setting up or doing something that doesn't need to be seen. And I didn't catch it, so I just unmuted myself and started talking about the game's gone. I'm like, shit. Monkey's been having technical difficulties lately. In case YouTube takes it down, so watch Monkey first, just in case. Nah, you can catch me say something horrible next time. Would you eat that 10-year-old disgusting pillow for $1 million? No.
Will you survive? I don't know. Monkey, are you doing a Monkey in the Morning or a game stream right after this?
Probably. Why? What's up?
Because I was debating on if I should do a stream. Like, if Monkey's gonna stream the game anyway, then I guess I'll just watch him play. But if you weren't gonna stream, then I'm like, I'm streaming. So,
well, here's the thing. It depends on what's going on with Jack. They usually do a comic book curation on Wednesdays. If they're not doing that, I'm going to do a Monkey in the Morning right after this.
Okay.
If they are doing that, I was planning on gaming. But just game, man. Jump in there and do it. Fuck, if I do something, it'll probably be at least half an hour afterwards anyway. So, just jump in there and game, man. It's a lot of fun. That fucking game, I'm so addicted to it. I suck at it, and the audience keeps yelling at me to do things, and I'm like, leave me alone. I want to fail.
I am getting like progressively better at it, like, and I'm starting to feel that rhythm that I picked up on when I started really getting good at 7 days, and I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I see. It's there for me.
Winter finally comes, and I'm like, okay, I'm not cold, and then the little cold thing pops up, but it's just barely there. So I'm like, oh, that's no big deal. But if that cold thing is on there at all, it starts taking away your health, which I didn't notice.
Oh, wow.
Until Jen comes into chat and says, your HP. And I look at it and I got like 6 HP left. I was like, oh, fuck. I had nothing to heal myself, and that stuff does not grow in the winter. I apologize. I did have one of those on me. So there's this really stressful time in that stream where I'm like, I'm going to die, you guys. But I was able to make it home and live. So
have you been doing the main story quests?
I've been doing all kinds of quests on there. I finished the first chapter of the main story. I have the second chapter. I haven't seen if that started with the new year.
Yeah, because I'm about to say they give you free fur armor if you do that.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know that because I haven't been paying attention to the rewards I get.
You know what? I would make fun of you for that, but it wasn't until like 3 quests later that I realized that I had it in my inventory. I'm like, oh, where did I get this from? I'm like, oh, I got it from that mission.
Yeah, I went through my my stuff looking for anything to help me. I'm like, where the hell did I get this fur from? So I put on the fur, and that made me warm enough to get home. Yeah. Do you ever talk to SDA, and is there a chance she may be a guest on Lords of the Night anytime soon? I haven't talked to SDA in a long time.
Mm-hmm. She's been pretty busy, man. She's got a lot of stuff going
on. What soft drink do you like besides Dr. Pepper, Scribe?
Aside from Dr. Pepper, well, when I visit my folks, my dad is partial to Strawberry Crush, and sort of as a I don't know, a bonding thing or something. Whatever, I'll have Strawberry Crush, but I only ever have Strawberry Crush when I'm hanging out with my dad. So I guess that's the other one that I like.
Monkey, while you were listening, BP reacted to Trudeau addressing us. Go give it a listen. Who's BP?
Blind Press.
Blind Press. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Being Pinkala is the one that said it.
Yes.
I will do my best to remember. Would you choose the ability to go to photosynthesize, not have breath, command mosquitoes, or be temperature comfy no matter how hot it gets? Well, I like hot, so temperature comfy no matter how cold it gets, I would take. Gentlemen?
I think I'd take the temperature comfy one because I really, really, really hate the heat. So, yeah.
You got to be careful with that. Are you just temperature comfy by meaning that you can just take it, but your body and organ will still fail if you're too close.
Oh, yeah.
You're just not immune. Yeah, okay, that's different. It's like, well, I'm standing on the sun. I feel great.
Because that could be bad. But yeah, if I could, if it comes with not dying also, then great. Because that's how Monkey almost died in the game.
Fair enough. Any prediction for the Dolphins Jaguar game tomorrow, Monkey? I haven't seen how the Jags are doing this year, but still going by the Dolphins last year, probably the Jags. Lords of the Night, do you look forward to another 4 years of Trump because of the news coverage, or do you dread it because of the news coverage? Oh,
I'm not concerned about the news coverage. If Trump wins again, the news is the least of my concern.
Yeah, I mean, the news coverage depending. If Trump wins, we'll have 4 more years of the same. If Biden wins, we'll have 4 more years of the same, just from the opposite side of the media aisle. And it'll be more interesting to see if CNN, NBC, and everything, if they continue having such a ridiculous kid glove philosophy on a Biden administration as they've had leading up to it. Are they never going to ask or say a discouraging word or anything? Or is it always going to be just pampering him the entire time, literally or figuratively? I'm curious about that, but it's a morbid curiosity, really, more than anything else, because I'm not excited about either one in a continued administration or new administration. So.
yeah, I was gonna say I dread it no matter who wins, because it is just it's depressing to see what has happened to our news and
our politics. I mean,
our politics have been. I mean, they've been nasty before, but they haven't had the press trumpeting the nastiness so one-sided for so long.
Yeah,
and I mean, it was getting bad under Obama, where you had Obama literally having meetings with the press to tell them what to go out there and talk about. Yeah. And I don't want to see where that goes, because you want to talk about what's dangerous to our country. That's probably one of the most dangerous things going on right now.
I like I said, I'm morbidly curious if Biden wins. I really want to see, does CNN, NBC, and everything, do they just become the House propaganda machine for the Biden administration? Do they never ever criticize so they can maintain this thing? Because they're going to have to, I figure, at least for the first while, if Biden wins, maintain the idea that Trump was the worst thing ever and Biden has to be the savior of everything. Otherwise, everything they've done for the last 4 years looks completely false. But then we're talking about a media industry that doesn't care about how they look day to day, week to week, as long as they get the clicks. So who knows?
Couple for Satsu here. First up, have you watched Konosuba?
Yes, both seasons and the movie. It is absolutely worth it. It's fucking hilarious. Go watch
This one's down a way, so I'm going to get that real quick. Satsu, is Aqua from Konosuba really useless?
Yes, supremely so. She is a goddess whose people worship her as a joke, and they don't believe in her at all. And the reason that she's so weak is because when they pray to her, they do it for kicks. So, sounds pretty worthless to me.
All right. And Satsu, what's the weirdest recipe you want to cook on your cooking channel?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I've seen tons of weird things that I'm like, I want to make that. And then I promptly forget immediately what that was. I made buffalo chicken egg rolls recently, which was something that I saw. I was like, what? But what? I'm making that. So I made it, and it was fucking delicious. So.
Lords of the Night, what's better? Apple pie, Dutch apple pie, or apple crumb cake, or Dutch apple crumb cake? Don't apple crumb cake. No. Dutch apple pie is my favorite of those.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on the quality of how it's made, but yeah, probably Dutch apple pie. Although my mom makes a regular, quote unquote, regular roll of apple pie that I really like. So yeah, so either one of those kind of.
Satsu's not the biggest fan of apple pie, but you got an answer for that one?
I don't know.
Fair enough. Joel asked, did you hear about Roaming Millennial's dad? Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning of MSS News. Monk, are you worried about the asteroid that might hit the day before the vote? No.
Yeah.
Trump has called in an asteroid to try to stop the.
Oh, this is a good question. What is the better Mel Brooks film? Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, or The Producers, the original one? I think Young Frankenstein is one of the most overrated pieces of work ever.
Yeah, it really is.
Blazing Saddles is great until the last 20 minutes. Spaceballs I love, and The Producers, it's all right. So for me, probably Spaceballs. Although Blazing Saddles is objectively funnier.
Yeah, that's essentially my assessment. I never understood. I mean, Young Frankenstein isn't terrible or anything. I just never understood why it's hailed as such a classic and this like pinnacle of comedy or something. It's like every time I've watched it, and I've only seen it a couple of times. With the clips I've seen and everything, it seems like it could do with a laugh track. And I hate saying that, but a lot of the jokes are just, I mean, they're said very straight, and I get that that's part of the joke, is that they're being very serious about some ridiculous material, but something about it just never landed for me. I just never, So, yeah.
Is Scribe from the South Dr. Pepper?
Well, I may have some Georgian heritage, but I don't usually talk about it too much.
Scribe, how's the air quality?
Much better now, thankfully. It's kind of a wait and see every couple of days to see which ways the wind's blowing. But as of right now, at least, it's been decent. I was able to go outside and do a bunch of stuff yesterday, get a haircut and get my flu shot and all that. So fingers crossed that we've seen the end, or at least the worst of it for the summer.
Would you rather die by being thrown into the sun or a black hole? Whichever does it quicker.
Yeah, sun or black. I mean, the black hole thing, the thing is that time starts to go all goofy the closer you get to a black hole. So who knows what happens at that point? Everything slows down. Although I think that's mostly for the observers. For you, you're basically just sucked in and turned into spaghetti. So, but in the time it takes you to get to that point, a lot of weird things can happen because of the gravity well. So it might be more interesting to fall into a black hole.
Pincalo, thank you. To Be or Not to Be is the most underrated Brooks film. See, for me, it would probably be The History of the World, but The History of the World Part 1, because they never made a Part 2. But people will still list that as one of his great ones, but it's always like the last one they'll mention. To Be or Not to Be, yeah, it's good, but Young Frankenstein, man, I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah.
Scribe, when Dog Cat Fox gets a flu shot, does it say owie, ow, ow?
Yes, because you know what Dog Cat Fox, instead of barking or meowing, you know what Dog Cat Fox says?
I'm a cat.
No, he says wowie wow wow. That's what a dog cat fox says. It goes wowie wow wow. So that's the joke.
Gotcha. All right. I think Aqua is only there for plot and backstory. If you catch my drift, Satsu.
Breaking news: 2 Louisville police officers have been shot. Officials say, and 1 suspect is in custody. So that's the latest on that as of 10 minutes ago.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably true. Although, I mean, all the characters in that show are kind of ridiculous by premise. Like, I think I talked to you guys about this show, or at least I mentioned it. Like they all have like glaring flaws. Like the chick is a tank and she's like super tanky. Like she can take a butt ton of hits, but she's also like a masochist. She likes pain, so she like throws herself into danger just so she can get beaten. If she knows that it'll hurt, she goes in head first, and she basically just becomes a punching bag that does nothing. She also can't hit anything. Whenever she swings a sword, she always misses. And then the mage is unbelievably and ungodly powerful. They have a spell that's so ridiculously strong, it's crazy, but they can only use it once. And then they become completely worthless afterwards. It's like that. And and the one's a goddess, but nobody likes her. It's pretty hilarious, but it's ridiculous in all the right ways.
San says, Satsu, orange chicken was great, but I totally overcooked the sauce. Sad face.
Oh, that is a tragedy. You gotta cook it on low heat, man. You ain't gotta boil that shit. Just low simmer.
How do you not like apple pie? My wife doesn't like peaches, but I think she's weird. I don't like peach pie too much because I'll eat the peaches out of the can. They get really soggy, but in a pie, they're just nasty.
Squishy don't like peach. She don't like peaches either. I just
fresh peaches are awesome.
I don't like the metallic-y taste of cooked apples. It's just
metallic-y.
Yeah, it tastes like metal to me. Like it's like a really metallic-y taste, and I don't like it. But apparently there is a way that you can cook them to kind of mask that taste a little bit, because like I said, there was a person who made me an apple pie, and I'm like, I don't like apple pie. I don't like apple pies. And I tried it. I'm like, I like this.
I've never tasted metal when I eat apple pie.
I don't know why it tastes like that to me.
Maybe you have like a food allergy for something that goes into apple pie.
Could be.
Like maybe cinnamon or something else that goes in there. Because like whenever I end up accidentally or otherwise having food with cilantro in it, cilantro makes food taste like burning soap to me. It just tastes nasty. And everybody else that I talk to, except for some very few individuals like my mother who has the same thing, says, "Oh, I love cilantro." And like, I will never understand why, because I can smell it before it actually gets to me most times, and the smell alone just turns me off. So maybe you have a diagnosed food allergy.
I mean, because I use cinnamon in a lot of stuff. I know.
Might be something else.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Like ever since I was little, even with the little store pies that you get, the little apple pies, I'm just like, I don't know what that taste is, but it tastes like I'm sucking on a nickel.
All right. So do you taste that when you just like eat an apple?
No.
Okay. So it's not the apple. So there's some ingredients. Yeah. So there's some common ingredient in apple pie. If it's not the cinnamon, if it's not the apple, then maybe something in the thickener or the if you use tapioca or something. I don't know, but there must be something in there that just triggers your flavor thing. So what I'd do is I'd figure, okay, take a recipe for apple pie and get a little bit of all the ingredients and just sort of taste test it and figure out maybe there's something in there that you can work to avoid and not work into your apple pies.
I don't know. It might just be the taste of apples in general when they get cooked.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway.
Marcus is mad at us because we don't like Young Frankenstein, and 8 Camel says Gene Wilder wrote Young Frankenstein. Mel Brooks just directed it. That explains it.
That's fine. I like Gene Wilder just fine. He's a great guy. He was a very very nice man. Young Frankenstein.
There's a lot of good comedic actors who may not be good comedic writers.
That is very true as well.
Kenyon says, I'm getting into political science. Curious if any of you have read Capital/Marx. I have absolutely no love for the man, but curious if it's even worth a deep dive, even if it's to bolster my own arguments. Sorry for the repeated question. It's the first time I saw it. I try to read in order, guys, but sometimes I do miss a few. Of course, you should always read something that you claim to be against. Otherwise, how can you make an argument?
Ooh, you know what? Somebody might have got it in chat. They said cloves.
That can do it.
If cloves are used, I can't stand cloves. I hate the fucking taste of them. They taste gross to me. Whenever people make, I know people who make ham, like honey ham or whatever, and they put cloves in the ham. I'm like, I don't want that shit. Get it away from me. It's gross. And that also kind of tastes metal or metallic-y to me. Cloves do. So maybe that's it. That could be it.
Devil's Advocate also says some kinds of apples, depending on the kind, will taste metallic when they're cooked because of high tannin.
Yeah, that was. I know there was like a specific thing I was thinking of that might be, you might be reacting to. So yeah,
and that sounds about right.
Final question of the night, Lords. What is your favorite action movies? I still love the original Lethal Weapon. God, that's great. Die Hard, awesome movie.
Yeah.
I like Armageddon. That's a good action movie. Tango and Cash, if you've never seen it, check it out. Scribe, any you want to add?
As just a straight like action movie, it's silly, but it's called Shoot 'Em Up. And it's not going to be a classic like Die Hard or anything, obviously. But if you just want like a straight like just awesome action movie, like this movie was pitched with what were they like storyboard, like everything was storyboard. All the action scenes were broken down bit by bit, cut by cut, and it's some of the best like choreographed action ever. It stars Paul Giamatti and Clive Owen, and it's got Monica Bellucci in there somewhere too, if I remember correctly, and she's always hot. But yeah, find Shoot 'Em Up if you just want a fun, silly action movie. It's great.
Satsu?
I can't think of a favorite right off the top of my head. I know there's a lot that I like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are amazing. We would love to keep going, but it is time for us to go. We will be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, over on Satsu 2 cents. So there's no need to be sad.
Oh.
Scribbles, you said you may take tomorrow off?
I may take tomorrow off from TED Excellence. We will see. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I will let you guys know one way or the other by at the latest 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. It all depends on where my mood's at and what work's got me going tomorrow. So,
Satsu, you firing up a game stream?
I really want to.
Fire up a game stream, dude.
I think I'm going to do that.
All right, Satsu's going to be doing a game stream over on the channel 2 Cents Plus, which, by the way, link below, as are all our channels, all our Twitters. Go check that shit out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Scribbles, Satsu, thank you for joining me, guys. Everyone, have a great night. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Your lives make me